Okay, Jacob, I'm going to take a look at your video and been reviewing it, and certainly you do some good things, and there are some things we want to try to address. And let's start by going through the first three phases. You have the startup, the load, which startup is phase one. Phase two is the trigger and the load. Phase three is the C position that we talked about. And I would suggest that you follow the video along with the document, with the illustration of the 5 components we're looking for. And of course, phase 4 is contact and phase 5 is finish. We're not going to cover phase 4 or 5. We are going to address the first 3 phases, or as you're beginning to move into the contact zone. Now, let's start from left to right in the illustration number 1, phase 1, you'll see in the setup. Not a lot that needs to be done here. I would do 2 things. I would, starting from the ground up, which is how we break these down, I would make sure that I had a toe-to-toe position in which the front side toe is even with that line. Now, it's not a big deal, but it will be here in just a minute, and it's slightly angled just a little bit. I like for both of the feet to be positioned just like your back foot. And, of course, you have crossed over the line that I've put down there in phase 1, issue 1 with your feet. So I'd like to see maybe that get backed off a little bit of that line and the toe directly across to the plate. Now the second thing relates to the bat head position at the start. I like to keep the bat head up as much as possible because ultimately that's where we want to be when we enter contact. So we like to get that thing at about a 45-degree angle. I've inset, excuse me, inside the yellow line, circle, a red line, which would give you kind of the approximate location I'd like to see the bat hit. Now, moving over into phase 2, which is the trigger and the load, I want you to begin to pay attention to a couple things. At the bottom there, you can see in both phase 1 and phase 2, I actually have placed a thicker yellow line on the front edge of home plate leading over to the black box. As you can see in phase 1, that yellow line happens to run up to your front toe. And of course, in phase 2, you can see how far forward you've moved and how much you've opened slightly in that process. So the issue in phase 2, right off the bat, is that you're going out beyond probably a good 2 to 4 stride, and you're actually going out and closer to 6 and opening slightly. Now let's talk about what that does here in just a moment, but I want to reference issue number 2. The number 2 is on the helmet, and again, it is just nothing more than a repetition of the bat head angle that I mentioned in phase 1. Now to get to the really good part, I want you to look at that yellow 3 in phase 2's illustration. As you can see, all of these illustrations are about even, and you can start by reviewing the white line that runs across from your eye level all the way across all 3 boxes. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to show you exactly what's happening with you're taking that front side foot and moving it forward and off the plate slightly. Again, using the yellow lines in front of home plate, we're able to track the difference or the distance between those points. You can see you have a measurable 6-7 inch, 5 to 6, 7 inch trigger, which is a little bit too long. Watch how it elevates your head position. As you can see, is a good standing tall position in phase 1. You run across, and in phase 2, you can see the eyes begin to, the head drops. And now as we get into phase 3, issue 1 is a backside pivot issue. I'm tracking the lead arm, making sure in issue number 2 of phase 3 that you actually are not bar arm locking. You do a great job with the bat head position here. Really great, very helpful. The red box out there is an indication as to really the part of the strike zone that you're going to be weak at right now because of your dropping. And if you look at the white line now by the number 3 in the phase 3 illustration, you can see your head has totally dropped well below your eye level, which is going to cause us a lot of issues, but we'll start working on that immediately in the next session.